What's the most interesting thing you knew but didn't say last time we watched NF?
Oh, I was talking about. I almost stumbled into saying, he used to be a Christian rapper, and I'm like, that almost sounded a little bit like too assertive for something I wasn't 100% knowledge about, right?
And we still don't quite know that, but there's definitely truth to it in the sense that he's charted on the Christian charts for what it's worth.
And he was on a Christian rap label. But according to him, he's just a rapper that happens to be Christian, and then comments have told me like he doesn't cuss on his
Right,
songs.
right, and that leads us to Tech
Tech
Nine. That's why,
Nine.
yeah, that kind of got me. And I think it was you that told me that Tech cut out the swears to work with NF.
Yeah, well, one of the comments told me, and then I told you. So it's been kind of like a game of
Hey,
telephone, but
that's how it's
hopefully
supposed to
accurate.
go. That's how it's supposed to
Yeah,
go.
yeah.
Well, I don't care if he's Christian, Muslim, atheist, or anything. Whatever he had in him spiritually or something was very connected to me to real well. So
Yeah,
it's awesome. I'd say I'm Christian. I'm not a religious guy though. I came
sure.
by it by hard knocks, brother. I fell. I fell before the Lord and begged because I was too stupid to save myself. So I got it for real. And I feel like that cat just is, well, he may be Christian or not, he's definitely has some sort of internal devotion to that side of his life.
Right,
But
right.
he was rapping about all kinds of stuff, you know what I mean? So that's why you put it well, I think, when he's like, he's just a rapper who is a Christian, and that's not so anything. You know what I mean?
Right, right. It's not going to sermonize.
And it's not sermonized. It's not singing God all the time or any
Right.
kind of religion or anything
And
like
that would
that.
be like Christian rap,
Right, that
like,
would be Christian rock, and but the one thing he does carry with him is he won't swear in these songs, and that's commendable to anyone who thinks of whatever.
and,
You know,
and
this is called trust.
oh, trust.
Like you could
Yeah.
trust me that I'll edit that part about all that shit you said about Christianity and religion.
Oh, no.
You asked me to, and you could trust me that I'll do that for you. All right. It is Trust by NF featuring Tech N9ne. Let's do it.
Yeah, and I didn't say all that stuff. Come on. Just because you're editing it out doesn't
They'll
mean.
never know. It's
Oh,
been removed. I removed it. It's not, so they'll never know.
Focus on it every single day. I wanna figure out a way to get ahead of what I think I know is coming. It's obvious you got a problem if you're always trying to make it seem as if you've never been afraid, then why you running? I can never look at what I do the way that other people can and walk away. I can't be separated from it. Sticking on my neck is how I made it where I'm at. You wanna cut it up again when they can never take it from me. I'm outlandish, take chances, gotta get it while I can with my damage. My sanity could leave it if it vanished. Don't matter to me, I'd still manage. Yeah, guess you could say I'm at an advantage. My vantage point can be quite lavish. Got so many cadences, no way to pick one. Which bag is my hand in? Depends what mood I'm in. Oh no, I'm in a mood again. Lord knows I'm a hooligan, losing it. Who can get gruesome with you if it comes down to it? You can bet I shoot direct, diffuse the threat, and then wonder why the music has a huge effect. Could it be because I've been the go-to when it comes to depth? Cause I'm the one that they be calling when the people get fed up. I want the music with the visuals, I got them in debt. For any part of me that wanna make it hard to get set up, but take away the happiness, it can be kinda pathetic. But when I look at everything, it's trying to give me a headache. You gotta be honest, it's really been the cause of it. Get it? Cause I can see a side of me you never see. You can tell when I'm at the breaking point. I finally had to sit with the devil. I went into hell and I asked him what the problem is yelling. He tried to get me to live with him, even call me a sinner, and told me everything about me doesn't feel like a winner. So I continue when he's telling me I might as well give up. I took a moment, thought about it, feeling caught in the middle, but got offended when he told me I would live in the kingdom when I could never leave it. Even if I made it to heaven, he found a way to give me back and send a demon to get me. I'm like, whoa, hold up, I don't think so.
So we just mentioned he's talking Christian. We mentioned his Christianity or potential or whatever.
yeah, yeah.
But then here's this track where he's talking about his whole conversation with the devil, with the demon. And the devil's like, even if I made it to heaven, he'd send a demon to come get him back and all this kind of stuff. So he's just more normal than more like most of us than we think in those terms. You know, everyone's got that coming after you kind of feel. You know,
Yeah, yeah.
at times. You know, and everyone's got that. And but yeah, he's definitely wrestling with those thoughts at this very moment. And so I'll be curious to find out what he ultimately ends up trusting. I like this speed. I like him talking about how he has so many different cadences and he could which one to choose. He seems like he's on edge. You know, like it's not necessarily the best mood he's in. Oh, I'm in another mood. You know, he's like, his the character of him in this song is unsettled and
Yeah.
and starting to wrestle now with some devil talk. So I think it's pretty cool, actually.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting because, Tech N9ne, we've already seen it where he talks about that contrast between him dealing with his demons and struggles.
That's right.
So I feel like we're probably gonna, I feel
Find
like
a
there's gonna theme into this. That's what
Yeah.
I'm anticipating.
Yeah, like he'll probably tell his little version of it, and then they'll ultimately come to how they came to, I don't know, trust themselves or whatever. But yeah, I'm all for it. Let's do it.
Okay.
Bones, me my ego. How's he look? He don't eat much, let him starve. I don't feed him, I just beat him. I just leave him in his room, in a fetal. Let him cry, let him yell, let him scream. I don't need him. Left off and I'm ticked off my pitfalls. I latch on to like a pit dog. I sitcom with a sick thought of a sitcom with a life I live. Life I live's more like a sci-fi flick. I hide in, wanna watch, dive right in. My silence doesn't mean I'm dying, just means I'm careful with the time I spend. So look what I done. Hey, helping them people I love. My life is not what it was. No, I do whatever I must. Kinda one hand I trust. Kinda one hand I trust. Yeah, kinda one hand I trust. Kinda one hand I trust.
Tech N9ne, next king up. Everyone knowing that I'm a death bringer. That lingua vexing, yeah, leaving a regular rapper resting, bruh. This is what I give it, such an incredible wicked rush, a vivid gush of poetical livid stuff to rid its gruff. Said I better go rip it rough and I lit it up. The prestige I got that from people loving the tech speed. Lyrically elect me gently. The beat that got you bobbing into your neck bleed. That is telling me let's feed on the bit of the bogus, the hit of a focus. Deliver the doses and give a crit of the dopest. Spit it to flow sick, another critic corrosive. A swig of the roguish and give you liver cirrhosis. Boogie monster, rep it with an F and a hoodie want to step into the session and fully conquer the weapon to lessen our profession, go bully bonkers. Left in the wreck, never checking the could he stomp us. Shake his crown. Thought he was gonna make us run away in a battle with his shake his frown, shake his ground. Like I'm the Mecha Godzilla, I'm such a killer when I break it down. These flows are the cheat code for the weak Joes that need those elite bros with the heat so they can eat on the D-low off a beast. Your ego got it vetoed. Please close your beak foes, delete scrolls, take it from me. Thief chose to try to decode. Reload the beat so I can reach each soul. No cease, no finito, release. Go! I am the chosen and everyone is.
Woo! That's some hot shit right there, you know. Man, that fire emoji really knows what the fuck it's talking about. That
Yeah.
Listen, man, these guys, I'm getting this feeling like they're totally together on this song.
Oh, definitely. I mean, it's kind of like, all right, so, we've obviously heard some things from Tech N9ne that's got a lot of production value in it. You know what I mean?
Yep.
But once again, the fact that he's able to be carried around on this beat, this beat is changing all the time, and
It's going all over the place.
playing into the beat very well. This doesn't sound like something that they just said, "Hey, Tech, I need you. Here's my verse,
Right.
and here's the beat. Go
Here's the
have
beat,
fun."
here's the verse, have fun. No way, not
No,
this one. This
no.
was a big idea of sorts. They're both playing off of this manic energy of like a God-fearing, not God-fearing, maybe like devil-fearing people at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
And it seems like they're right about to break through. Because even when he hit the scene, he was heavy. He was dark-minded, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
I'm just intrigued by this beginning of the song itself. I mean, we started in the middle of it. It feels like we started this song starts in the middle of an action sequence, and you're just like, who's the good guy? Who's the bad guy? What side am I on? You know, or the kind of
Right.
thing. And you're just picking up the pieces. You got two familiar faces here. with NF and Tech, and yet they both are like spewing some of that inner turmoil that makes them look and feel a bit ugly, to this point. But I think they're gonna turn. But I'm intrigued, like as a storytelling story. This is I'm feeling it.
Yeah, I am too.
Holding my energy is golden cause the million is being broken from enemies in the open approach, and I'm never joking, the remedy being spoken, I'm hoping that you're soaking it up. I'm in the motion, I'm doping, I'm never choking, my devotion to floating like an ocean, the Holy Ghost, and I'm scoping the evil folk, I'm provoking the wicked notion of croaking, I'm really floating and quoting that I'm closing it up. Talking behind my back, end up with 9ers that see me and say, kinda whack, you could not find a knock, hit you with a rhyme attack, really and spray. I'ma beat you cause I'm greedy and slay, if you creepy and cray, I'ma eat you like PB&J, kiwi and grapes, I'ma demolish them when the TB and play. I started recording in my number 3 Jordans, dungaree sporting. The tongue of me is gonna be scorching. The punishing hunter eat like a hungry orphan. T9 and NF are elephants in the room without a closet for skeletons. Quit embellishing. A demon from hell is yelling when down in your element.
Look what I done. Hey, helping them people I love. My life is not what it was. No, I do whatever I must. Count on one hand, I trust. Count on one hand, I trust. Yeah, count on one hand, I trust. Count on one hand, I trust. Look what I done. Helping them people I love. My life is not what it was. I'll do whatever I must. Count on one hand, I trust. Count on one hand, I trust. Yeah, count on one hand, I trust. Count on one hand, I trust.
Kind of want to hit him with trust.
See,
So trust is a weapon?
I didn't catch that line. Is that what he said? I kind of want to hit him with trust?
I think it's kind of what it sounds like. That's kind of what he said.
It does. It does sound like what he said, but it's also one of those where these guys were just going a million miles an hour. So at that point, I could, one little word off could be a whole meaning off. I loved it. That was intense blast. That just, that makes me want to, man.
Says, "Oh, count on one hand who I trust."
Whoa! Count on one hand who I trust. Count on one hand who I trust. So they never do get to the light, so to speak, in this song. But he's just telling you right down there, count on one hand who I trust. That's all I got. I can count on one hand who I trust. And that's true for most people. But still, that's fucking awesome. What a fire track. I never used the term fire. I'm using it like I invented it right now.
Yeah.
It's weird. It's that's a barn burner. More fire if you want. Man, I could count on one hand who I trust. Now, I would just love to eat up the lyrics of that at some point. I mean, there's got to be some cool imagery, or there was that I gathered, but
I'm like reading the lyrics right now, and I mean, there's some really cool parts of it,
Yeah, I bet.
Let's go in the devil folk and revoking the wicked notion. I'm in croaking, I'm really floating and cloak. Right here, I'm scoping the evil folk and revoking the wicked notion. I'm croaking, I'm really floating and quoting that I'm closing it up. Yeah.
That's unbelievable.
That's Tech N9ne's line right there. And
right, I remember that being him. But it's unbelievable. That's so cool, man. That's so creative. And like you said, it has so many changes. It's like early Strange Day music. It's like a Chris Calico train, wild changes in the music. But with Tech and NF, they, obviously this was, they worked on this song. But man alive, that was just like, I did not expect that. That just started like as a blaze. It's like you were sitting in the middle of a burning house. You wake up and you got to get out, but you have amnesia and you don't know what the fuck way to go.
Right.
It was that spun me around. I gotta say, as far as suggestions go, what a great one. We had so many to choose from, but we really wanted to get with Tech also. So it was easy to take this choice, but wow.
Yeah.
I don't expect to hear much the same from either of them. The same thing anyway,
No.
I think, but they made a real, real explosive track together. Anyway, I loved it. It was great. It's very, very cool. So totally worthwhile. Thank you.
Oh, who requested that, by the way?
I was hoping you wouldn't ask me. I forget.
Oh, that was Chad Hickox.
Hey, Cox! Chad!
Oh man, that guy
What's
brought
up,
some
Chad?
good requests for us. So thank you for that.
That was sweet. And Dave, that was a good track, man. Let's do another one soon.
We shall. More Tech N9ne coming.
Awesome.